Hello class. In this lecture, we will learn different methods of protecting a thyristor. The first type of protection that a thyristor needs against is the high rate of change of current, that is high di by dt. When a thyristor is forward biased, that is anode is positive with respect to cathode, and it is turned on by giving a gate pulse, the conduction over here is confined to a very small area during delay time. During rise time, there is a little spread of this area, and during spread time, the conduction spreads over the entire J3 junction. The thyristor design permits the spread of conduction to the whole junction area as rapidly as possible. However, if rate of rise of anode current, that is di by dt, is large as compared to the spread velocity of carriers, local hotspots will be formed near the gate cathode junction on account of high current density. This localized heating may destroy the thyristor. Therefore, the rate of rise of anode current at the time of turn on must be kept below a specified limiting value. The value of di by dt can be maintained below acceptable limit by using a small inductor called as di by dt inductor in series with the anode circuit. Local hotspot heating can also be avoided by ensuring that the conduction spreads in the whole area as rapidly as possible. This can be achieved by applying gate current nearer to the maximum specified gate current. As shown in this circuit, in order to protect the SCR from high di by dt, high rate of change of current, the di by dt inductor is connected in series with the SCR. The next method for triggering is called as dV by dt triggering. In dV by dt triggering, the anode is positive with respect to cathode and gate is open. Junction J1 and junction J3 are forward biased. Junction J2 is reverse biased. Depletion layer is formed at junction J2. Depletion layer formed at junction J2 acts like a dielectric. Therefore, junction J2 behaves like a capacitance. The charging current for a capacitor is given by IC is equal to dQ by dt. If we substitute the value for Q as Cj into Va, where Cj is the junction capacitance and Va is the anode to cathode voltage, and suppose we differentiate this term, we will have IC is equal to Cj dVa by dt plus Va dCj by dt. Since the term Cj is constant, dCj by dt is 0 and this term Va dCj by dt will be 0. Therefore, charging current will be given by IC is equal to Cj dVa by dt. The same is written over here, IC is equal to Cj dVa by dt. When the value of dVa by dt is very large, the charging current is very large. This charging current will act like gate current and it can turn on the SCR. This happens when we apply a step voltage. When we apply a step voltage, at time t equal to 0, the voltage varies from 0 to V volt. If the value of voltage is very large and at time t equal to 0, the voltage changes from 0 to V volt, the rate of change of voltage during this time is very large. dV by dt is very large during time t equal to 0. Since dV by dt is large, IC is large. Since dV by dt is large, IC is large, and this charging current acts like gate current, which in turn turns on the thyristor. To protect the thyristor against high dV by dt, an RC snubber circuit is connected in parallel across the thyristor. Because of the RC network connected in parallel across the thyristor, the capacitor will charge first. The charging of the capacitance is controlled by this resistance. Because of this RC network, the rate of charge of the capacitor rises slowly, and hence the voltage across the SCR rises slowly and is limited into the required dV by dt. To protect an SCR from dV by dt, a snubber circuit, that is, a resistance in series with the capacitance, is connected in parallel across the SCR. In reality, only CS alone is capable of protecting the SCR from dV by dt protection. Suppose CS is connected alone and switch is closed. The moment switch is closed, the capacitor acts like a short circuit and voltage across SCR is zero. As time passes, the voltage across the capacitor rises slowly, and since the capacitor is in parallel with the thyristor, the rate of rise of voltage is within the dV by dt rating. Hence, the thyristor is protected. The capacitor charges up to source voltage Vs. Now, when the capacitor discharges through this loop, the current is limited by Vs upon the resistance of this loop. If this current is not within the di by dt rating of the thyristor, it may damage the thyristor. Hence, a resistance Rs is connected in series with the capacitor such that it limits the discharge current within the di by dt rating of the device. Now, when the thyristor is turned on, the discharge current Vs upon Rs is very small, and turn on di by dt is reduced. To suppress over voltages, a varistor or a voltage clamping device is connected across the thyristor. A voltage clamping device is a nonlinear resistor connected across the SCR. The voltage clamping device has a following resistance characteristic with increasing voltage. Under normal working conditions, a voltage below the clamping level, the device has a high resistance and draws a small leakage current. When a voltage surge appears, the voltage clamping device operates in the low resistance region, and it produces a virtual short circuit across the SCR. The increased current associated with the virtual short circuit produces an increased voltage drop in the source and light impedances, and as a result, voltage across SCR is clamped to a safe value. After the energy surge is dissipated in the nonlinear resistor, the operation of the voltage clamping device returns to its high resistance region. Selenium thyrector diodes, metal oxide varistors, or avalanche diode suppressors are commonly employed for protecting the thyristor circuit against overvoltages. As the voltage clamping capability of a thyrector is inferior to those of metal oxide varistor and avalanche diode suppressor, use of thyrector is on the decline. In practice, a combined protection consisting of RC snubber and voltage clamping device is provided to thyristors as shown. Thyristors have small thermal time constants. Therefore, if a thyristor is subjected to overcurrent due to faults, short circuits, or surge currents, its junction temperature may exceed the rated value and the device may be damaged. There is thus a need for the overcurrent protection of SCRs. As in other electrical systems, overcurrent protection in thyristor circuits is achieved through the use of circuit breaker and fast-acting current-limiting fuse as shown in figure. A thyristor possesses high surge current capability. It can be used in an electronic crowbar circuit for overcurrent protection of power converters using SCRs. An electronic crowbar protection provides rapid isolation of the power converter before any damage occurs. In crowbar protection, a crowbar thyristor is connected across the input DC terminals. A current sensing resistor detects the value of converter current. If it exceeds preset value, the gate current circuit provides the signal to the crowbar SCR and turns it on in a few microseconds. The input terminals are then short-circuited by crowbar SCR and it shunts away the converter overcurrent. The crowbar thyristor current depends upon the source voltage and its impedance. After some time, main fuse interrupts the fault current. The fuse may be replaced by a circuit breaker if SCR has adequate surge current rating. Gate circuit also should be protected against overvoltages and overcurrents. Overvoltages across the gate circuit can cause false triggering of the SCR. Overcurrent may raise junction temperature beyond specified limit leading to its damage. Protection against overvoltage is achieved by connecting a Zener diode across the gate circuit. A resistor R2 connected in series with the gate circuit provides protection against overcurrents. A common problem in thyristor circuits is that they suffer from spurious or noise firing. Turning on or turning off of an SCR may induce trigger pulses in nearby SCR. Sometimes transients in a power circuit may also cause unwanted signal to appear across the gate of the neighboring SCR. These undesirable trigger pulses may turn on the SCR, leading to false operation of the main SCR. Gate protection against such spurious firing is obtained by using shielded cables or twisted gatelets. A varying flux caused by nearby transients cannot pass through twisted gatelets or shielded cables. As such, no EMF is induced in these cables and spurious firing of thyristors is thus minimized. A capacitor and resistor are also connected across the gate to cathode to bypass the noise signals. The capacitor should be less than 0.1 microfarad and must not deteriorate the wave shape of the gate pulse. To protect an SCR from overheating, a heat sink is connected to an SCR so that heat can be easily dissipated from an SCR.